Tell us about what you've discovered. I mean, tell us just some of the things right off the top. Let's get into the book a little bit.
So one of the things that I've discovered, and this is pretty much the reason behind me writing this book on power prophecy, because my first book is called Realms of the Prophetic. And so in that book, I just kind of went through the different realms, the different dimensions, and just to kind of teach on what the prophetic is. But as I was poring over the scriptures and studying the scriptures, I recognized something in the prophetic mantle that you don't oftentimes see through prophets, because oftentimes when we hear prophetic or those terms prophet, it's usually spoken, it's usually communicative gift, it's usually thus saith the Lord. And so I begin to see a common thread from Genesis all the way to Revelation, from the Old Testament to the New Testament. And I said, there's something, and what struck me, Pastor Jim and Lori, is when I got to Ezekiel 37. And in that, it paints a very powerful picture through the prophet Ezekiel of the power of prophecy. And so that's the foundation of where I begin to see the power of prophecy, and just not in just declaring and speaking forth the word of God, but seeing the manifestation of words being released through the prophets or those who are prophetic. And so that's where the power came. And I looked at that text, and I saw in Ezekiel that as he spoke, the Lord said to the prophet, can these dry bones live?
Right.
And so what the Lord said to him, he said, yes, Lord, you know that it can live. And so what the Lord said to the prophet is, now I need you to participate. I need you to prophesy. And so in that, you begin to see through the scattering of the bones, the dry bones, and they were all over the valley. And you could see that as the prophet begins to speak the word of God, you begin to see reformation. You see the bones coming together. You see alignment. You see connection. You see the skin and the sewings begin to come together. And I begin to see, and the Lord takes us through, walking us through scriptures to see how the power of prophecy. So there's some things that when you speak a word, there's some things that you may not see right now happen, but as you speak, things are coming together, things are aligning, things are being corrected, things are adjusting and shifting. And so that where I saw the power of prophecy take place.